Because the one thing is they're not uniformed. They're not wearing their nationality. It's weird because it's also like the maritime one where in maritime war you can't fire upon a ship with a false flag. So you'll see these stories where it's like, oh, they'll be flying. You can fly a false flag all you want, but before you start firing, you got to lower down and raise up your flag.
Sir, they're moving their flags. I think they intend on firing. Why do you say that, Johnson? Just speculation, sir.
Now the question is, though, can you fire upon them before they raise their flag up?
I would think you could the moment it's on like the cord where clearly like it's going up. I would think, but also, I mean, let's be real here for a moment.
I don't think the Germans did that.
If there's no one left, like, who's going to complain?
I know there was a...
And also, most ships don't have, masts anymore to raise or lower a flag.
Well, they still have to fly the flag.
Yeah.
But...
Because as a ship, just in case if there was ever a mechanical malfunction in your communication equipment, you still have to be able to identify them from a distance. So they have to have country of origin flag flying. Now, the Germans, what they would do is they would take cargo ships and have hidden doors on them, and they would be flying a false flag, and then if they were to get in close proximity, they would hurry up and raise their flag, drop these panels down, and I don't remember. I think it was a French ship. It was, I think, like a cruiser or whatever. But they were able to sink it because the cruiser got, in a time where they knew that there were merchant ships that were used like this, got within very, very close range, and even the small guns that this cargo ship had was enough to sink it. But very interesting, though. Yes.
So there's your history lesson for the day.
Yep. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I just think it's hilarious, Now, like I said, I don't know that everybody would do that because in a time of war, you don't really care. It's like you'd rather survive.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And to your point...
That's like, as I understand it, technically, you know how like an M1 Abrams tank has the M60 machine gun mounted on the top? You know what that's actually technically supposed to be for? That's supposed to be for, like, non-tank vehicles. That's not supposed to be an anti-infantry weapon.
That's exactly what it would be used for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're surrounded, like, and somehow you can't move, then yeah, that's probably what you're going to use it for. But, like, you could also technically be charged with, like, war crimes or something like that. So in the BattleTech universe, basically everyone's a war criminal. Like, there are certain battle mechs that, like, based on what I just told you, there's a battle mech called the Piranha. All it has is machine guns. Machine guns don't do jack to another battle mech. What do you think it's used for? That thing and the fire starter are both walking war crimes.
Geneva Convention, more like the Geneva Checklist.
Well,
in BattleTech, pretty much.
Well, but the thing is that who's going to report you if there's nobody left to report?
Yep.
What happened to those people? I don't know.
I mean, it's a little more difficult to get away with using nukes in BattleTech because, the radiation, but, they do still have them. Because in BattleTech, there are two different kinds. There's kind of like we use that will leave radiation for 50 years. And then there's, like, the laser-initiated fusion weapons that won't leave radiation for a long time, and it's a fairly small blast, but whatever's caught in it is totally destroyed. They're basically like grenades for mechs.
Well, they haven't done the Hammer of God yet.
Well, I mean, there's other, like, super weapons. During the Amorous coup, they turned, I think it was a heat shield or something they were using to try to terraform Venus into, like, a massive laser weapon and try to fend off the Star League once it got to Earth. Which, all it really succeeded in doing was making sure that Venus never finally got terraformed, and now it's back to basically where it was, because they don't have the technology to attempt to rebuild that thing. So...
I'm just glad that in G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra, that Destro decided just to use the Hammer of God on England, I believe.
Zartan.
Or Zartan, sorry, yes, yeah.
Like, so for the few of you that watched the first movie, remember Zartan was the president. And they just ran with that. Like, they're at the end, it's like, well, I've just fired all of our nukes. And they're like, what? It's like, yep, they're incoming. Do your thing, boys. And everyone's like, okay, we'll disarm. Like, all right, well, now that you've all disarmed, I've got this other super weapon. And like, oh. And we'll use England because we destroyed Paris with the thing in the last movie, so here goes.
Tungsten rod. dropped it from space,
Mhm.
which is nice for if you want to be able to reuse the land that it hits. There's no radiation.
You know,
I mean, there's a giant
the
crater.
topography might be a little different, but
Well, we've got a now a lake where England used to be,
you know,
but it's all been. Yeah, I was just kind of surprised that they went with that. They was like, yeah, it's gone. GI Joes didn't stop that. I mean, yeah, you had the Rock come in with a tank.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Geek Ball video, Echoes of a Whisper. This has been a clip from one of our podcasts. The link to the actual podcast this is from is in the description of the video if you want to see the entire thing, which we obviously encourage you to do. But otherwise, if you enjoyed what you saw, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscriptions and all the rest is definitely appreciated. Comments, as always. But just in general, thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. And check out the other videos we have here on the channel. See you later.